Hi guys! So today I am back with a new video for you. This one is going to be all about how to make a circle skirt for anybody. It's super easy and I'm going to run through every single step with you. So let's get started. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to be making a pattern for this. Unlike the maxi skirt that we made a few weeks back, this does require a paper pattern, but it's super easy. I have this paper here, so it's a little crinkly. It is just some vellum paper. I use this to draft things all the time, but you can get brown paper like you would wrap packages to go to the post office. You can usually get it at the dollar store, or you can use the blank side of old wrapping paper, you know, some happy birthday stuff that's kind of outdated, you know, whatever basically large size paper you can find, okay? You're also going to need a ruler, okay? Mine is 2 inches wide and it's see-through and has some helpful lines on it, but you can use any kind of ruler. You'll be needing a marker and you'll need some scissors, okay? Okay, so you're going to start off by cutting off a large piece of paper. Cut it all the way across. Okay, we've got our pattern paper out. Okay, now you're going to start off by drawing lines in the corner of the paper. Now you're going to draw another line in the corner at a right angle. Okay? This is all you need to start off with. Okay, so the next step is to measure yourself. We're not actually going to be measuring our waist. We're going to be measuring our hips so that we have enough room to pull the skirt up and over and it will sit properly, okay? So, this gets a little complicated. So your hips are the widest part of your body, okay? That would be right through the middle of your bum and all the way around, okay? Okay. So this is my hip measurement. And it happens to be 69 inches. I'm making this skirt to fit me, so we're going to have a little bit of fun here with some math. Just pull out your phone, okay? And we're going to do a little math problem. So, my hips are 69 inches around. Plus, you're going to add 1 inch for seam allowance at the center back. That equals out to 70 inches for me, okay? Again, you're going to be measuring yourself. Here's the tricky part. We're going to find the radius of the circle. So, it's super easy. You're going to take 70, or whatever your number is, divide it by 2. That equals 35. Then divide that by 3.14. For me, that equals out to 11.14. It's rounded up to the nearest quarter of an inch, okay? So if it's 0.24 or 0.26, you're going to round it down to 0.25 or round it to 0.25, okay? Whatever it's closest to. That'll be easiest for you when you're making this, okay? So mine is going to be rounded up to 11.25. Okay, so what you're going to do is at the 11.25 mark, that's 11 1/4 of an inch, you're going to pierce the measuring tape, okay? Then, in the corner here that you made, you are going to stab that in. You don't have to stab it in far as long as it goes through the paper, okay? Now, you're going to take your marker, stick it in the end of the measuring tape. There should be a hole there. If there's not, punch a hole there, okay? Or you can use string. So, you're now going to draw a quarter of a circle, right like that. See? Perfect. This is now the waistline of my skirt. Okay, so next up we're going to draw the outer circle for the rest of the skirt. What you want to start off by doing is finishing the lines on your paper. Okay, what you're going to do is figure out how long you want your skirt to be, okay? My suggestion is stand in front of a full-length mirror with your 1 inch at the spot where you plan on wearing the skirt, especially down the center if you have a tummy or anything like that that you want to make sure you're accommodating, okay? And look in the mirror and see where you feel comfortable the skirt end. And I'm gonna go with 22 inches long. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but you still need to be able to hem your skirt and have a seam allowance. So, in order to accommodate a hem and a seam allowance, you need to add at least 1 inch to the bottom or to the length of your skirt, okay? So, because I want this to be 22 inches long when it's finished, I'm actually going to cut it so it's 23 inches long, okay? So, what you're going to do is take the radius of your skirt, mine is 11.25 inches, and you're going to add it to the length of your skirt. So 11.25 plus 23. That makes it 34.25 inches. So, same thing as before. You're gonna find that mark on your measuring tape. You're gonna poke the tack through there. You're gonna stick it in the corner over here. Okay? Now, you're gonna draw your circle. So it's a little bit hard to see, but we've just made a quarter of a circle. And this is your pattern. This is what it looks like. Okay? The inner circle here is your waist, and the outer circle is your hem. Now we're gonna move on to cutting your fabric out, okay? This is the fabric that I've chosen to make my skirt out of. So set your pattern aside for right now. And so what you're going to do is you need to fold your fabric in a certain way, okay? So that you get a whole circle. So the way this is folded is so that there is a corner here where you end up with 2 folds, okay, and then 1 fold, okay? You need to have that corner towards you because this is where you're gonna cut, because you're gonna end up with a full circle when you're done, and you need this to not have any seams, okay? So, take your pattern, and you're going to line it up with the edge of the fabric fold on both sides and get it as close to the edge as you can, okay? Now, take your pins and you're gonna start pinning at the top where it's super important that it all matches up, okay? Just like that, okay? Simple. Now you're going to take your scissors and just cut out where the waistline is. Okay, so now you can pick it up if you want. This is what it looks like. Your fabric is pinned to the back. Perfect. Now, don't throw away this extra piece. You're going to need this. Before you do anything, you can unpin this side with the double fold where it's 2 layers of folds, not one folded together. And you're going to cut up this fold line, okay? You're only cutting up one of them. And you're going to cut from the hem to the waistband along the folded line. This is so that you can get in and out of your skirt while you're sewing. Now flip it over and you can unpin your paper. Make sure you save your paper because you can use this again and again as long as you're careful with your pinning and everything. You can save it and just keep making skirt after skirt for yourself. Okay, now you can unfold your skirt. And this is what it looks like. Nothing special quite yet, but it will be soon. Okay, set your skirt part aside. Next up, you're going to take your scrap chunk of fabric, okay, and grab your ruler and a marker. So what you're going to do on both layers, you're going to cut a 2-inch wide strip. So I usually like to mark it down first. Now, so you've cut your 2 strips out, you've got your waistband. So you've got your waistband, you've got your skirt fabric, okay? The only other things you're going to need to sew this other than thread is 3/4 inch wide elastic and some bias tape. This is stuff I've had for a long time. Basically, it's fabric that's cut on the bias, then pressed. It's folded in quarters, essentially. So raw edges are inside, and you are going to bind the edges of the seams with this to keep it all neat and tidy and professional looking, okay? Okay. So you guys have all learned now how to make the pattern for your circle skirts and how to cut it out properly. Remember, come back tomorrow and you're going to see how to sew it together, okay? I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!